What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And I know I said it was going to be more bike content this year, but I'm having some problems with my Audi. The battery is flat. Now, I need to remove the battery because I live in a street where I can't leave it trickle charging. So I need to get it out of the car, take it into the house to be able to charge it overnight. And just to show you that there's not enough battery in this to get the car started, you can hear there that there's definitely not enough juice in this battery. So I've tried removing the battery already and it set off a sensor alarm, a kind of tamper alarm. So we need to try and figure out how I can get the battery out without that alarm going off. I think if I leave the key in the ignition while I remove the battery, that could solve the problem. There is also the option, which is a last resort, of disconnecting the speaker on the tamper alarm, which I believe is located somewhere in the back of the car over there. So I'm going to go ahead now and remove the battery. I'm going to leave the key just in the ignition, and I'm going to hope that that means that the tamper alarm doesn't go off. I'm also going to make sure I leave my door open. Obviously I don't want to get the key locked inside. I have got a separate key for this. I have got a second key, but it's best to be on the safe side. And I do think that this has already become unpaired with the car as well. The remote's no longer working, so I'm going to have to figure out how to reconfigure that with the car, but I will do a separate video about that hopefully. So I'm going to leave the key in here, I'm going to open the door, and I'm going to get the battery removed. Okay, so remove the negative terminal, and so far so good. The key is in the ignition. I'm just going to remove the positive now and see if that triggers the tamper alarm. Okay, so this time I have removed both the positive and negative terminals, and I'm not getting the tamper alarm with the key in the ignition. The problem I've got now is I need to figure out how to get this battery out of the car, but so far so good. Having the key in the ignition seems to have solved the issue. Okay, so first of all, I've had to pull this rubber back, and that revealed this, which is clipped onto the metal here. I've pulled that back, kind of out the way, and if you can see down there, that bolt is what is holding in the battery. That is not easy to get to, and on top of that, that's going to be one thing getting that out, but getting it back in is going to be a whole other world of pain, but I've got no choice really. Okay, so after a lot of loosening of that screw down there, don't know if you'll be able to even see it at the moment. Yeah, that one there, very difficult to loosen. I've now got the battery free, but what I'm going to do is test taking the key out of the ignition before I remove this battery completely, just in case that tamper alarm decides to go off when I remove the key from the ignition. So I'm just going to test that now. Okay, key's out and it's not going off, so that seems like it's done the trick. Now I can remove the battery, go and charge it up. Okay, so that is the screw that you need to have access to and be able to loosen. There is actually a little handle on it here. I'll do my best to film this, and what that enables you to do is lift the clamp out of the way. So I don't think you actually need to loosen it fully out. You just need a little bit of space to be able to lift that. So I'm going to just tighten that up a little bit so that it's easier to locate later. I might give this area a clean out as well, because it's a bit of a mess in here. It's probably never been cleaned out before, so I might as well do that while I'm in here and the battery's out. Okay, so that wasn't easy, but we have the battery out. That was such a pain getting that bolt out, and it's mainly because I don't have the right tools. You need a very long Allen key to get down there. You can see what I was talking about with the handle. This kind of handle sits so you can move the clamp out of the way. I guess that's how it works, but I thought I'd get this out and give it a bit of a clean and put some grease on it, so that if I ever have to do that again, which I hope I don't, hopefully it will come out a little bit easier. So I've got this very old school battery charger, trickle charger, and I'm going to stick this on for a couple of hours, and then I'm just going to hope that that's enough juice to get the car running. Then I can take it out for a run and get the battery charged up a little bit. And then over the next few weeks, I'm just going to have to make sure that I keep running the car as much as I can, just to keep that charge up and to stop it going flat in the cold weather as well. So yeah, get this on charge, and then we'll see if we can get the car started again. And there we go, I can leave that ticking along. Now I think it needs to fall a little bit lower to show that it's actually got the right charge. I don't think the needle goes up, it actually goes down. So I need to get this down to the blue area, I think. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on that and come back in a couple of hours and see what's happening. Okay guys, so I've been charging this for a little while and the needle is kind of doing something a bit weird where it keeps sort of flicking up to just under 2 and then turning off, going all the way to the left here. So, there you go, it's just done exactly what I was explaining. That was good timing. So yeah, it seems to be hovering around here. I've had it on charge for over an hour, I'd say. So I'm tempted to give this a go. It looks like it's just switching itself off, I think. So maybe it's fully charged now. Maybe it was just slightly under voltage and that's why the car wouldn't start and it just needed a little bit of a charge. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this. I'm gonna put the key in the ignition, refit the battery, put the positive and negative terminal back on, and then we'll see if it cranks. I don't actually have any grease, so I've gone ahead and just used some Vaseline on both the bolt to hold the battery down. I'm hoping that means that it'll be easier to get off next time if I ever need to do it again. And I've put some Vaseline on both the ports as well. That's the best I can do, so hopefully that'll be okay. Okay, so keys back in the ignition, and again I'm going to leave the door slightly open. Giving everything a bit of a wipe down so it's looking nice and clean in here again. And in there as well, gave it a bit of a clean. So we'll just pop the battery in, I won't fix it down for now. I'll put the ports on and we'll see if the car starts. Wow, that battery was an effort to get back in. Make sure you've eaten your Weetabix in the morning. So I've got it in, I've got the terminals back on, nothing happened with the alarm again, which is good. And yeah, now I'm just gonna try and start the car, see what happens. Okay, we've got power. Hey, there we go. So that's all it needed, just a little bit of charge in the battery. Okay guys, well, we've had it out for a drive. There's a few odd things happening. The traction control light has come on and that's not going off, so that's something I'm gonna have to look into. And apparently it's 20 past 12 in 2005, so obviously I'll have to update those as well. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful guys. That's how you remove a battery without triggering the tamper alarm. Basically just leave your key in the ignition and that seemed to solve all my problems. I think my battery is on the way out. I'm probably going to have to replace it at some point because I've done 2 startups since I did this, and the second startup it was already starting to show signs of not being at full power again. So yeah, I've just taken it out for 15 minutes, given it a run. Hopefully that can keep it going for a little bit longer into the warmer weather and then maybe it'll survive. But yeah, it looks like I might need a new battery at some point. And yeah, this key is not synced with the car anymore, so I'm going to have to sort that out. I'll do that in my next upload probably. I'm probably going to sit here now and try and figure this out. But that's it for this one. See you all soon guys.